Hey everybody, welcome back to my Pokemon Crystal walkthrough. I'm your host, DeoGenZ, and today we are earning ourselves another badge. That's right, back-to-back episodes of Badge Get. It is awesome, and like I mentioned previously, I am definitely going in a wonky order to collect all these badges. You may choose, once you see all these episodes, which badge you'd like to go for first. But for me, it doesn't really matter because my team is pretty prime as it is, and I think I have all the facilities needed to take out any trainer in the Kanto region that we come across. Not saying that out of hubris, but just saying it because of the strong, disciplined training series that we've done before, with all the battle montages and things. That's why I wanted to include that kind of thing in this walkthrough, so you knew exactly what it takes to get at the power levels that I have. That's some things that annoy me about other walkthroughs and some LPers. I won't mention names, but they get to this really high point of levelage. And I question in knowing how the emulators work. Did you actually do that? Did you do the kind of grinding it would normally take in a Pokemon game? Or did you just say instant rare candies and off camera did that? Because I gotta know. Are you really playing the game? Or are you just bullshitting the people? Telling them, oh yeah, you'll definitely win if you have this kind of level. Well, something you forget, Mr. LP or person who does that kind of thing, is, or misses, I'm just doing a general rant here, you don't have those rare candy treats in the regular cartridge. There's nothing for people unless they want to get a Game Shark, unless they want to buy something to play their game, which I never was down for that can do that sort of training you did. Yo, finally got here, huh? I wasn't in the mood in Cinnabar, but now I'm ready to battle you. You're telling me you conquered all the gyms in Johto? Heh, Johto's gyms must be pretty pathetic then. Hey, don't worry about it. I'll know if you are good or not by battling you right now. Ready, Johto champ? Oh, I'm ready. I'm more ready than you'll ever be, Blue. Trying to downplay what we did in the Johto region. Listen, if you had a fight with Claire and her finicky badge-giving tactics, or Whitney, go take on that Miltank, why don't you? I think you'd have a different tune. But just in that critiquing period, I had a cool thought. Wouldn't it be awesome if in future Pokemon games, they allowed you to go to this area where not only you could battle gym leaders, but gym leaders from other generations, other regions of the Pokemon franchise. This way you wouldn't have to have every region in one game. People give you the argument, oh, it just wouldn't work, you couldn't fit it all in. But if you had leaders from those different regions all meeting up in one sort of gym trainer house with a large screen over on the opposing side of the battlefield, wow, level 56, this thing is packing with power, then it would be really freaking awesome to see gym leaders battling gym leaders, so it wouldn't be always open to the player to go, but at whatever point you go in there might be some really high-intensity battle going on between the two gym leaders to see who is better. I think that would be a cool thing. And for the strategy to take out this Pidgeot, know that its stats are pretty basic. The only thing it really has advantages in is speed, so it's going to have speed priority on you, but not a big deal, not too big of a deal, so long as you pull off super effective moves. Right now I'm just using my stronger move because comparatively Icy Wind does not have that much base power. Psychic is a lot stronger, I believe, with a 90 base power. And plus, I'm not sure if they enabled the stab, the same type attack bonus in this game, but I know that if it's available, then Psychic is affected by that, because Slowbro is partially a Psychic type. And Electric types or Rock types will work well to take out that Pidgeot as well. Executor, on the other hand, you'll have to be careful with, because it does have some significant special attack, and its stats are higher in other regions than Pidgeot's was. So it's not the fastest Pokemon on the field. As you can see, it's got 3 jumbling eggheads to deal with before they could even make a decision to put their first foot down, as you could see by the sprite. But that Solar Beam is giga powerful with its heightened special attack base power. So make sure you eliminate it quickly in the time that it takes to charge. See, couldn't even launch a move because Gary had no foresight or strategical battle stance to unleash the sunlight in a sunny day move beforehand. Very foolish, Blue. Very foolish. Did I call you Gary? I probably did. Anyway, they're interchangeable to me. Being someone who has grown up on both the manga, or really on all the manga, video games, and TV show that was out there, all the anime, I really know them as interchangeable character names. My main strategy throughout this whole match, and really throughout the whole gym montage that we've done this time in the expedition, is just attack the leaders with super effective moves. But it's important to know also where their Pokemon have their advantages, because you could have the choice of using a special or physical super effective move, and one would be better over the other, where in this case Rhydon has very high attack, as we've just seen it wreak havoc on Mr. Poof, but also because it's super effective thanks to the unfortunate dual type of being a flying grass. I guess that helps out with ground types, but not in this situation against a rock type. Rock/ground type, that is. But it does not only have high attack, it also has some pretty opposable defense, meaning that it can sit around on the field almost as a pseudo wall when it comes to physical onslaught, so don't waste your time doing that. Try and take it out as fast as possible with some special attack super effective moves, like Surf, like Solar Beam if you have it on your team. I'm not entirely sure how they worked it out in the crystal mechanics for what moves are special and what moves are physical. If you all could comment on that below, I would be much appreciative, because that's one of the mysteries of the past that I even now have not had resolved. From what I've seen in random comments on the videos, it seems to be that the type of move it is going to dictate whether it's physical or if it's special. Now, speaking of special, this is probably Blue's highest special attacker that he has, the one with the greatest amount of special attacking power, and to boot, it is a pretty fast Pokemon, so it might get the speed priority on you, so beware of that. I don't think that I have my Umbreon with me today. I actually have to double check. I didn't even notice at the beginning of the battle if it was with me. But Umbreon's definitely the best choice here. You didn't get to see the full fury of Sabrina's Alakazam, but as you could tell by Chew's almost fully diminished health levels, this is serious business. This Pokemon wants you gone, and quickly. And it can do it with its special attacking smiting powers. Okay, unfortunately, I do not have my Umbreon with me, so let's see who's faster. Damn! That's a problem. That is an issue. So there's another recommendation for you. Always be sure to go over your team roster before you enter a gym battle, because it can cost you the match. I can't believe that I have a useless slot of a Hoot Hoot that helped me fly over here, and I forgot to put it back in the PC before coming to verse Blue. We would be done with this match if I had Umbreon with me, because Umbreon completely walls this Pokemon. While yes, you do have to worry about its hyper special attack, you won't have to even think twice about it if you throw any Dark type on the field while Alakazam is still enabled. It simply just cannot harm you. Psychic has no effect on Dark types. And I think that they really had to throw in the Dark types after they saw how type advantages and how stats would interact with each other in the first gen, because Psychic types back then in the first gen, if you had a Psychic type on your team, you were almost guaranteed victory, because something like this strong Alakazam would have no trouble sweeping people's teams with nothing to resist it. Now with the Dark type active and found throughout all regions, it helps to balance out the metagame in a big way. Of course, this thing has Recover, so we're just going to have to give it a wall stall here. Unfortunately, this isn't the quick, swift tactics that I like to take out gym leaders with usually, but hey, you learn from my mistakes, and make sure you check that roster, because now we have to wall this Alakazam, which is a lot easier to do, thanks to Amnesia, but critical hits do not help at all. The one advantage of this Alakazam is that if you have one advantage to your team defeating it, I should say, not if you have Alakazam, because this would suck for your Alakazam just as it does for Blue's. It has a very minimalistic defense, so that means any physical Dark-type move, again, I'm not sure if Dark-type moves are physical, but if they are, they will be super effective and they will hit home very hard with this Alakazam. because its defense is very diminished. It's not a big thing to worry about. And damn you! Taking away our strongest move. Fine. We will go to our next strongest that does not get affected by resistances of same type. I don't think that my Psychic would be very super effective against your Psychic type, but hey, its special defense isn't that great either. That's why Alakazam definitely sits up on the spot as Sweeper, being fast and nimble and able to hit hard with its special attack stat. But once it's up against a Dark type, I tell you, man, there is really just not much your opponent can do. If Gary, oh, I just did it again, if Blue happens to send out Alakazam before all of his other choices are extinguished, he very well might switch back out into another Pokemon, in which you will respond. Switch out your Dark type to preserve it for when Alakazam pops back up on the field, because as you could see, this thing is a havoc. This thing is a nuisance because of its recover and because of its high special attack. It will demolish your team, all the while annoyingly build back up its health with recover. I wish that Surf wasn't disabled because we would have taken this thing out far faster, but the nice thing about Icy Wind is it has the clever caveat of diminishing your opponent's speed every time that it's launched, so that's a happy advantage to us. Oh man, too bad that Chew is not around anymore. Figures. Well, since this whole match would have gone a completely different way if this stupid Hoot Hoot wasn't here, I'm going to use him as death fodder and revive my Chew, because that is some bullshit. Damn it, Gary, if I had my freaking Umbreon, you would have been done in one turn, and then I wouldn't have had to waste Chew's health. So I'll show you how strong the Johto region still is, despite my lack of thought before entering the battle. Hydro Pump, that's a powerful move, no matter who uses it, but what you really have to worry about is this Gyarados' attack power, because it is strong, it is vicious, and its defense and special defense are about average. So it would help, again, very much so, if I had Thunder or Thunderbolt. The one bad thing about Thunder is that, well, it's got kind of a iffy accuracy, so if you want it to hit every time, no matter what, make sure that you use Rain Dance beforehand. Otherwise, you get demolished by a Hyper Beam like that. Haha, that's another wonderful thing. Wonderful that this freaking Gyarados has to do that to us. But yeah, this thing packs plentiful power. So if you don't have a strong Electric type or strong Rock type move to take it down, be sure to bring some potions. Be sure to maybe bring some revives so that you can enter back onto the field once you've been wiped out with Hyper Beam. I would say that Hyper Beam is a cheap move, but it's really not, because your opponent has to recharge, giving you a chance to knock them out in that turn. And perfect. Arcanine. While I'm sure my Slowbro's power is fine for taking this thing out with one Surf, I'm not confident that its speed will outrun Arcanine's speed, which is a lot greater. Oh man. Phew. Flamethrower. That was a foolish move on Blue's part. If I was using that Arcanine, I would have went with something like a Crunch or a Bite. I don't even know if it can learn Crunch, but I know it can learn Bite, and that would have been far more effective against my Prince Dozo here, but he's being a bozo and going with a move that's not very effective, which works out fine for us. What you have to be aware of is that this Arcanine has great amounts of attack power, physical attack power, so if you don't have something of a ground type, or maybe a fire versus fire situation like we had when we faced Blaine back on the Seafoam Isle with Typhlosion, then, you know, if you don't have any Earthquake, you're not going to be taking out this Pokemon anytime soon. It's a fast one, and it's strong. Arcanine is quite the formidable foe, so don't mess around here. Look, even Blue is not messing around here. Saved his last full restore for Arcanine, the final match. 1 versus 1. Sorry that it had to be so shitty with me forgetting to swap out that Hoot Hoot, but hey, we work around these kind of impediments of my own mind. And one final Surf. Let's see if it does him in. It Almost does. Ah, well, I think that... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. He used one more full restore. Alright, you can delay your death as much as you want, Blue, but our badge is inevitable. So fork it over! Critical hit. Come on. Critical hit. You know you wanna. You know you wanna one-hit KO. Ah, very close. No cigar. Okay, so confirmed. Blue has 2 full restores on his side. He only seems to want to use them, though, when it's against his last Pokemon and yours. I could have seen that being very beneficial for his Alakazam, because that was the Pokemon we had the most trouble with, but thanks for rudimentary AI, I suppose. Because I would have used the full restore sooner. What? How the heck did I lose to you? Alright, here, take this. It's the Earth Badge. Oh, that's a pretty cool gig. He may have been kicked off the champion spot, but he got to take over Giovanni's gym. Alright. You're the real deal. You're a good trainer. But I'm going to beat you someday. Don't you forget it. Ah, Blue, don't worry. You ever want to battle again? I'm right here, motherfucker. Alright, so that about does it for this badge episode. In the next episode, we're going to backtrack to some gyms we've missed.